To control your life, control what you pay attention to. An article by Maura Thomas. There is a lot packed in this title. To control your life. It suggests that we have this desire for control. We often feel that life is out of control, beyond our control, thus the desire for control. We want to be in charge of our lives. We don't want life just to unfold. Life is chaos, and it's our duty to control that chaos. We want to be more productive. We want to have more time, less stress, to have peace of mind. What she's arguing, yes, we have that ability. Yes, parts of life are completely up to chance, to Lady Fortune. Yes, there are external factors that influence outcomes, but we are beings with agency, and that agency is our capacity to control events of our lives and control outcomes. Control means that we can exert power, our own personal power, towards intended ends. What is our personal power? Is our capacity and ability to direct or influence the course of events. So this is very important because we do have, as beings with agency, we have the capacity to influence course of events. We have some control over the self, over the triad, the dark horse, the bright horse, the charioteer. So organizing that chaos is our duty. And how do we organize it? We organize it by controlling, by choosing, exerting power, authority, jurisdiction, and command over what we pay attention to. In the Principles of Psychology, William James wrote a simple statement that is packed with meaning. Quote, "My experience is what I agree to attend to." So think about it, your subjective experience in life, the way you feel about yourself, the way you feel about life, the way you feel about life experiences, it's shaped pretty much by what we agree to attend to and pay attention to. There are millions of bits of information hitting you right now, a fire hose of information, and your experience is determined by what you consciously or unconsciously agree to pay attention to. And that is the challenge, because sometimes we pay attention to things or we fail to pay attention to things unconsciously, and that is a problem. And that's the beauty of self-awareness and to being present in the moment. And actually, that's one of the basic premises of meditation, is that with all the racing thoughts in your mind, you can choose to pay attention to your breath. The chaos is unfolding, the chaos is spinning around you, there is chaos everywhere, and you decide to stop and you pay attention to what? To the one thing you can control, which is your breath. Not your thoughts. Your thoughts are racing, but by paying attention in your breath, if you can maintain it, sometimes it's hard to maintain it, but you can bracket everything out and focus in that one thing. There is plenty of negative for us to pay attention to, but we can also choose to pay attention to what is positive, to what is beautiful. And just imagine how that has an impact in your life and in your subjective well-being. I love the concept of paying attention. When you're paying attention, it implies that there is a cost associated with it. You are investing limited resources into a specific object. And when you have invested in one objective, those resources, time, energy, are spent, and you can't spend it at something else during that period of time. So think about it. If you have $1 and you're going to spend that $1 into something, that $1 can only be applied to that something, and it cannot be applied to anything else. The same thing is with attention. When you pay attention to one object, that object of your attention becomes what you consume, and then your attention can be diverted into other things. And don't think we're all great multitaskers, because we are just not. So attention is the behavioral and cognitive process of selectively concentrating on a discrete aspect of information. So you have all this information coming at you, and you say, I'm going to focus on this part of the information, and in doing so, I'm going to leave everything else on the side. And that's sometimes what's called tunnel vision. And tunnel vision sometimes can be absolutely beautiful because it helps us focus, but we also have to remind ourselves that when you create tunnel vision, there is also everything that is left outside of the tunnel. And we have to be very careful if we are bringing to the tunnel the right things, the things that we need to be paying attention to. So what are you paying attention to? Are you bringing into your tunnel vision the things that will enhance your future self, the things that will leverage yourself, the things that will have a huge impact in your future being, in your future well-being, or are you leaving those things behind for things that are easily attainable, for things that will bring you instant gratification? What is in your tunnel? What is it that you're paying attention to? So what do we do about it? Attention management. And I love the word attention management. First, because we already discussed what is attention, but the management part of it. What does a manager do? A manager assigns tasks, and a manager also distributes resources. So a manager determines who gets what resource and for what. So that's what you do with your attention. You need to determine who gets what from all the information that is coming at you. What is most important to you? What is most important not only for your present self, but also for your future self. And you have to be judicious about it. So to be constantly productive and manage stress better, we have to strengthen our skill in attention management. We have to work that attention management muscle, because that will allow us first to realize that there is a lot of information hitting us, that not all this information is good, and we, as good managers that we are of our present self and our future self, we have to determine what is it that we're going to be paying attention to. So attention management equals more productivity, but it's much more than just productivity. It's also about creating a life by choice and not by accident or just being reactive to the things that happen to you. Another discussion relevant to this topic is the issue of aspirations versus experiences. James said that your experience is what you attend to. You intend one thing, but you end up doing something completely different. You want to accomplish a certain goal, but you get consumed by meetings, emails, firefighting, and your life becomes full of the experiences you never really intended to have. So, aspirations versus experiences that you actually want for yourself. And when those aspirations and those experiences are not aligned, we need to act upon them. That is the secret of a good, well-lived life, is when aspirations and experiences are aligned. And if you don't manage the way you pay attention to things, and that's when life goes completely out of control. First, control your technology. You are the subject. You are the one in control of your technologies. Don't let your technologies take the best of you. Know how to manage them. Know how to deal with them. Know the power that they have over you. And by knowing it, do something about it. Do not let yourself be the slave of your technology. Know how to identify the things that were especially designed to steal your attention, like the next button on Netflix, or push notifications, or those email bleeps that just absolutely take your attention away from you and get you to focus on something else and not what you need to be focusing attention on. Control your environment. Set boundaries with others. You know, we all interact with leeches, right? And leeches are those individuals that suck our energy and time dry. And we know who they are. They are present in our lives and they act in a certain way that is very predictable. So knowing how they are going to act, build boundaries. Don't go where they are. Try to avoid them. Use a do not disturb sign. Do something that will allow you to control your environment in a way that will create an environment where you can actually be focused on the things that are important to you. One thing that I've said over and over, for me, it's from 7 in the morning until 9 in the morning. This is the time when the angels sing, because I know there will be no distractions. I once met this woman at a conference, and she said that her boyfriend at that time was so demanding that he was worth 32 credits. So she had to decide between being a medical doctor or the boyfriend. She's a doctor today. I'm not suggesting that you should go out there and just dump your partners. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there are individuals in our lives and sometimes we do have to be available to them and help them. But then also create boundaries and talk to them during periods of time that you know are not going to interfere with the rest of your life. So be cognizant about it and be strategic about it. Control your behavior. One of the things that I did early in my career was try to observe my behaviors early in the morning in my office. And I realized that I would get into my office and the first thing that I would do is I would try to just give a quick look at the news early in the morning. And you know that those quick looks at the news are never quick and they always consume a lot of time. So be an observant of your own behavior. What are you doing when you get to work, when you open a book, when you're trying to focus and you see that your dark horse will probably try to engage you in behavior that is not adaptive behavior, that is not behavior that will help you pay attention to the things that are important. Understand your dark horse and what suggestions your dark horse are giving to you and how you're succumbing to those suggestions, and just quiet it down and create habits. I think when you are talking about controlling your behaviors, it is about creating good habits, healthy habits that will allow you to get focused right from the beginning, right from the get-go. The best way to create habits is to create a very solid morning routine. To create a very solid routine, it doesn't have to be a morning routine, but just a routine in general, so that when you sit down to do certain things, you know that you are going to do it. You're not going to be pulled aside from your dark horse in any other direction. But you need to control that. You need to observe your behavior in the past and make sure that, hey, listen, you're being real about it. That when you say you're going to do something, you are actually engaging in that thing. And I have a lot of other videos that teach you how to do so. Then control your thoughts. Practice noticing when your mind is veering off, when it's going in its own direction. And again, it's practice listening to your dark horse. Practice hearing your dark horse. How does it speak? A lot of us have never heard our dark horses before. And the moment you learn how to listen and identify its sweet, suggestive power, you will have a transformative hold in your life. Because now when you sit down to do something and you're being told, oh, you need to go to the restroom, you know you don't. You know that this is your dark horse saying, I don't like this task. I want to do something better, something that will bring me immediate gratification. So know your thoughts, listen to your thoughts. Again, remember that you are not just a monolithic you. Also try to separate you from yourself and observe that you, observe the behaviors, observe the thoughts. And as an outsider observing the thoughts, now you can control the thoughts. Practicing attention management is not only about eliminating distractions, it's really about building that attention muscle through habits and really creating a life that you deserve, the life that you were born to have, the life that now is very much under attack because of all this stimuli that we are receiving. But we are agentic beings. We are beings who have the power to control outcomes. And if you control external factors, if you control internal factors and do something about it, you can pay attention to the things that will create a better life for you and for your future self. And your future self will be very thankful to you. So good luck. If you like this video, please like, share, comment, share with others, spread the love. There are other people out there that maybe need this message as well. Thank you very much for watching and good luck.